Okay, Rich, so what are we playing this week then?
Right, so this week we're going to attempt to complete Life Force for the NES. Now, this is a port of an arcade game that was released in 1986 called Salamander, but over time the game went through a bunch of revisions and name changes until eventually being released on the NES in 1987. So you've got some experience with the game, haven't you?
Yeah, we've played it, haven't we?
Yeah, we've both played this a few times in the past, so hopefully we'll get through it all right.
Yeah.
You ready then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, so I'm Vic Viper and Chris is going to be Lord British. So it's got a power-up system very similar to Gradius. You pick up these items here and it moves the selection bar along by one, and if it's on an item that you want, you press the second button and it basically chooses the item for you. Now, this having the power-up system from Gradius was actually one of the revisions that the game went through that I spoke about, because originally in the arcades this game actually basically the enemies would just drop the full power-ups, so they would drop options and you would immediately get an option or shields and such like that. Oh fuck, sorry.
We've done it again.
It limits you to one option each on 2 players, so Chris can't get an option now unless I die.
Laser. We're gonna. Oh shit! I don't like that. Oh.
Always follows you the first time, doesn't it?
Yeah. There
Not too bad. This is actually the second time we're completing this for the channel as well, by the way. Unfortunately, the second half of the video wasn't actually recorded.
we go. Why was that, Rich?
Ran out of space on the hard drive. Chris wasn't very happy at the time, was she?
I think you were more unhappy, to be honest.
Yeah, it was
Can't
pretty.
repeat it in present company.
Well, I mean, we completed the whole game, and then we suddenly realised that we hadn't actually recorded.
Yeah,
the
we
second
didn't just
half of
complete it though. We annihilated
Yeah,
it.
we did pretty well actually. No, go left, left, left.
I couldn't do anything about that because they were coming up from the backside. I'm buggered now.
They're coming up from the backside. No, it's buggered.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier that this game went through a bunch of revisions. Well, basically, originally it was called Salamander in the Japanese arcades, but when it came to America, they decided to sort of add a biological theme to it, so they renamed it Life Force, and they changed some of the levels to be a little bit more. They changed some of the starfield backgrounds to be sort of biological backgrounds, basically. The game went back to Japan and they actually made it even more biologically themed for the 3rd revision, even changing some of the bosses to be sort of brains and such. And like I said before, in the 3rd revision they did add the Gradius sort of power-up system as well. This NES game, it sort of takes elements from all of the different versions to an extent. So in some ways this is actually the 4th revision of the game, because they actually completely replaced 2 levels with exclusive levels. And a lot of people do have quite a high opinion of this NES version actually, and the new levels it adds in. I mean, they are pretty cool levels. The levels they replaced somewhat dull, I guess, by the standards of the game anyway. I was thinking I was going to do it there. Oh, I was not going to do it, was I?
I need some pickups.
Right, you can have everything now.
Oh, really?
Stay sort of back and in the middle as well a little bit.
Up. Third time.
Fuck! I don't know how they even killed me. What?
How
I
did
had a
that kill you?
shield.
You had a shield.
It's gone straight through it. This is the level that does me over the most, I think, generally.
Yeah. I'm a little bit on edge now, I've got to admit.
Oh,
Do you get an extra life?
yeah, I think so.
You need that. My laser timed out. I couldn't fire. I was like, oh no!
Oh no.
How slow I am.
This was damaging to us, this level, wasn't it? We were doing a lot better last time.
Yeah.
This is a pretty cool boss, actually. Pretty impressive looking, isn't it?
Very well drawn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so slow.
This boss is actually slightly different in the arcade version as well. It's flying around the screen, but it's a lot smaller.
He is rather massive.
Oh,
Oh dear.
usually it'd be dead by now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're out of continues.
Well, no, I don't want to take one of your lives.
Alright. If I get another one, then you can grab
You got
another one.
3. So.
Did you want to join then?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, you join.
I'm trying to, but it wouldn't let me.
If you get a speed up.
Yeah. I want option. I want an option. Give me an option.
Force, press it.
Oh, damn, I wanted an option.
Better than nothing, though.
Yeah, true.
This game actually had its own cartoon made for it as well, sort
That's
of
cool.
an OVA, 3 episodes, sort of like I think they're like an hour length. The production values for the OVA aren't too bad, but it's sort of a generic spaceship story sort of thing, really. Lasted a bit longer that time than it did last week. That was actually one of the exclusive boss fights to the NES version, so they actually made
Good
that.
boss fight.
Design-wise, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's not actually a terrible boss fight if you don't
can
kill
get
it in 5 seconds.
Get your shield.
This is one of the exclusive levels that they made for the NES.
Yeah.
Sort of not bad, really, is it? Sort of
Quite
tricky.
nice. Yeah,
Tricky
very
level with
tricky.
all these little little sections to weave around.
Who's it? Oh, the Maui heads.
Moe heads. I mispronounced that the whole way through the Gradius video, didn't I? I kept saying Maui heads. I'm always butchering the pronunciations of things in our videos, aren't I?
Yeah. You really do. You kill him, I'll stay on this.
We've got to do this fast section now.
Yeah.
The final bit always slams into me. Right, concentrate.
Building up the suspense. Oops.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I thought that was just...
I would have been killed there anyway.
I
Never
thought it was that
mind.
bit.
Yeah.
Hey. Green
Awesome.
bowling ball in the sky is dead. Boo, 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 boo.
And unfortunately, that's it for the PAL version's ending.
Fantastic ending, can't we?
Now, this game actually, the Famicom version of the game actually has 3 alternate endings. So, depending on how many continues you would use up in that version, you would get, different things would appear during a credits roll. And the best ending, which we would have actually got here because we didn't use up any credits, did we, on any extra credits? Because you took lives from me.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that we would have got the best one, which is the pilot sort of removing their helmet and showing that they're actually a woman. So they sort of copied the ending from Metroid, essentially, sort of like reveal that you're a woman the entire time. But that's a real shame that this doesn't have all of these alternate endings in it. It's quite bad, really, isn't it?
Yeah. So what did you think then, Rich?
Well, this game is just a classic, really, isn't it? This is, I mean, they've really outdone themselves with this game. We were positive about Gradius, weren't we? You know, we were like, wow, this is a real push forwards. But Life Force just adds tons of stuff. You know, it builds on Gradius in so many different ways, and this is just a year afterwards as well. So, I mean, we've got multi-directional scrolling in the game. We've got a 2-player option, which is very welcome. You've got they've made a few changes to the power-up system as well here, because you can get double missiles, can't you? So you
Double
can
lasers.
double missiles, double lasers. You've got a ripple instead of the one that used to fire in sort of 2 different directions.
Yeah.
And the ripple's not as useful in the NES game. It's sort of more useful in the arcade version, but it's still a welcome addition, really. I mean, it's just, this game it's just full of set pieces, really, isn't it? I mean, flying across the fiery, I don't know, where's the sun, maybe?
Yeah, I think you are going through Coronas, because those are solar flares, aren't they, really?
The flames shooting across the screen. I mean, that is impressive, isn't it? I mean, it's a nasty level to actually play through, because you can get killed by it pretty easily. But I mean, that is an impressive sort of memorable set piece there. You've also got the first level with all of the spikes and such. They've added in all of these biological elements that sort of grow up the screen and things, and sort of get in your way and kill
like
you.
Veins, aren't they?
And such.
Capillaries, which is really cool on that biological level.
Everything that was good about Gradius as well has been sort of translated over here. I mean, the music, they've done a fantastic job with the music. They've gone leagues ahead with the boss fights, because Gradius just really had just the one boss fight pretty much, didn't it? Apart from the end, it just always did the one boss fight, whereas this has a range of bosses that were all quite memorable, and it even has some exclusive bosses that it created, you know, just for the game.
Very cool.
So they really went above and beyond with this. So what do you reckon then?
I couldn't agree more. It's literally one of the best scrolling shooters you can play from that era.
Yeah.
As you said, 1 year after Gradius, and the amount of improvements that come with the game after only 1 year.
Yeah.
That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. The gameplay is really good. It's really fun. It's really engaging. It's quite replayable as well, because you can go about it so many different ways. You could say to yourself this time, okay, I'm not going to go for laser, I'm going to go for ripple. And if you're so like-minded as well, you can steal all the options, which is good fun, like Rich always does, and then makes out
it was an accident.
An accident. But no, even with that, it's great fun. It's just 100% fun, isn't it?
Kind of a shame about the ending, though, isn't it? Obviously,
yeah,
the Japanese, God. I mean, they added even more replayability into their version. You know?
Like triple the amount. So I think I already know what you're going to say here, Rich, but what rating are you going to give it?
Well, I'm giving this a full 5 out of 5, because it is sort of the pinnacle of home shooters, really, for the time period, I would say. You know, I don't see how they could have made it any better.
Yep, I'm the same. 5 out of 5. Yeah. With a side note that I really wish they'd put the endings on the NES version and the Famicom version.
It's a real shame.
It's just a side note, but it doesn't really affect the score at all. So 5 out of 5 for me as well. Okay, guys, that was Life Force for this week. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a classic of the era, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Anyway, guys, if you liked it, give us a like, give us a comment, tell us what you think, and we will see you next week with another game. Take care.
See ya.